Growing up sucks. Having new sets of responsibilities and no time left for yourself is one of the worst things. Add starting a family or having a kid into the equation, then you're left with almost no time for yourself anymore. And if you grow up playing video game as a hobby, it is usually one of the first things to go when it's time to make compromises. But if video game has already become a part of your identity and quitting is not an option for you, then watch on, as in today's video, you will find ideas on how you can hold on to this hobby without impacting or jeopardizing your adulthood responsibilities. One of the common phrases that I hear from my childhood gaming buddies is that I miss the time where we used to play video games the whole day, but now I just don't have time to play it anymore, or some version of like that. When my daughter was born, I've also decided to quit video games completely, but I've only managed to do so for a few months before I went into depression. It is my favorite hobby, a channel to release stress, and my reset button for clearing up the craziness and frustrations from life on a daily basis. I had to figure out other ways. Fast forward 4 years and voila, I think I found the balance to fulfilling my grown-up and family responsibilities without quitting video games. And here are some ideas for use as a guideline. The first thing is to know your daily key responsibilities and prioritize those responsibilities. By prioritizing and listing out your key responsibilities, you will then be able to manage your time more effectively and focus on factors that can help you control on completing these responsibilities. This way, by the end of the day, you will still have time left to do the things you love with minimal interruptions. Secondly, you have to be selective of which games you play and what types of game you to play. I know before we just wished that we had the money to buy all the games we wanted, but now that we have the money, we just don't have the time anymore. So before you go out and go buy that new game that just launched, consider reading a few reviews and deciding if this game is going to be worth your time. Don't waste time on games that are too grindy or repetitive that will get you nowhere. On the other hand, if you like online multiplayer games, consider games with shorter rounds. For example, if you like 5v5 MOBA, consider playing League of Legends instead of Dota, as League of Legends rounds are shorter. Though be careful that competitive online games have the tendency to make you want to come back for that one more extra round for that win. And I would also like to add that if you have a kid, it will also mean that sometimes you must be willing to walk away from a ranked competitive match. Thirdly, stick to one massive game at a time. I mean, with so many huge titles launching so close to each other, you don't need to play every title on launch day. Complete one and then move on to the other to avoid feeling overwhelmed or frustrated. Jumping between Red Dead Redemption 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey in your limited time window is just gonna make you feel that you haven't achieved anything in either. And the fourth thing you can do is consider easy difficulty. Gone are the days where I can just sit down and hit retry to pass a difficult section of a game. So for some longer games, I would switch to normal or easy difficulty so that I can finish the game in the shortest time possible and move on to the next one. Number 5, let 100% completion be a thing of the past. Sometimes you just don't need to finish a game. I mean, there are some games where after a good 10 to 20 hours in, I had my fun and would like to move on to something else. Also, if you're into open world games, consider skipping some side quests that do not offer good incentives or rewards that are worthwhile of your time. Because if you do try and complete everything, you're gonna end up stuck with this game for a very, very long time. Though there is one game that I would like to point out which is an exception, and that's Breath of the Wild, and I will get into more details on that later. Number 6, consider games that are casual and or portable. I mean, if you enjoy mobile games, consider playing those, as most mobile games are casual and designed for short intervals of playing time. But just be aware of games that require a lot of microtransactions to progress. But if mobile gaming is not your thing, consider investing in the Nintendo Switch. I mean, for me, the Switch is probably one of the best things ever invented for a busy gamer. It has a sleep and continue where you left off function, which is so useful when you have a busy life. And it also has an ever-growing library of full-sized games, which can be enjoyed at anywhere, anytime. I mean, in the bed, during lunch breaks at work, when stuck in the traffic, or when your kid takes a nap. If you can think of a way to play it, you most probably likely can. Number 7, if you already have kids, then consider playing a game with your wife and kids. Some weekends, if I know that my daughter and wife just wants to spend extra time with me, I will invite them to play Dance Dance or Mario Tennis. Enjoying video games with your family can be a fun thing too, and also at the same time satisfying your gaming needs. Tip number 8 is don't go past your usual bedtime. It messes up your cycle for your next day. When you wake up late, your schedule of to-dos will be messed up too. And this might end up eating away the time you have planned for video games. Also, prolonged sleep debt will make you less efficient and not to mention have a negative impact on your health as well. You can check out one of my other videos if you need help on sticking to a sleep schedule when you play games late into the night. So that's my list of ideas and pointers for keeping video games as a hobby. My hobby for playing video games has changed a lot compared to when I was a kid, and I'm sure that it will continue to change as I grow older. But today it was fun sharing with you what worked for me. Do you have any tips or experience on balancing life with video games? Please share with us in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you liked today's video, as it will help this channel grow, and subscribe and hit the bell if you loved it, and we'll see you again next week.